Welcome back everyone, Mariah Monetize here. In today's video, we're going over the price of Bitcoin, a couple other cryptocurrencies, as well as a Coinbase stock, and we're also going to be taking a look at SPY and Tesla. So if you watched my video a couple days ago, I pointed out a symmetrical triangle that was forming on Bitcoin. And so if you want to check it out, it's this video right here with this yellow thumbnail. Do not miss this triangle on the BTC chart. So I made that approximately 2 days ago, and it's really interesting to see what has happened since. So when I made that video, we were at this candle right here. That was July 7th, and what I was basically saying was I was anticipating Bitcoin to break either above or below this triangle sometime between then and June 10th or 11th. I think I might have said the 10th. So it ended up breaking below the day prior. I was thinking it was more likely that it was going to break below, mainly because I think that Bitcoin is going to have a really hard time getting over this 50 DMA, which is closing in pretty tight here to this triangle. So I basically said volatility was incoming. Was it insanely volatile, that break below the triangle? Let's go ahead and look at it from a percentage perspective. So we're looking at about a 6.5% drop, which is honestly, 6.5 just feels like nothing in the cryptocurrency space. If it was traditional markets, it'd be a completely different story. But when it comes to cryptocurrency, a 6% move is just most of the time. So I would say that obviously it broke below it significantly, but I wouldn't say violently. Okay, the fact that it closed yesterday and it's looking likely to close today outside of that triangle, below that triangle, is a very bearish sign for me. So the low of this candle right here from yesterday is 32,101. The low of this candle so far is 32,285. If today's candle starts trading below the previous low of yesterday's candle, that's going to be an additional bearish sign. Overall, Bitcoin is not looking good. I'm still anticipating a pretty violent drop because this is what you need to consider. Honestly, in my opinion, Bitcoin in the mid to low 30,000s is still pretty generous considering where we were about 6 months ago. And I think that a lot of people are going to have to be shaken out. A lot of people are going to have to feel a lot of pain before the next move up. And I say this just because that's how markets work. You are going to be tested, okay? You have to think about the whales. You have to think about institutions that are trading. They know the psychology of the, what's the correct term that I'm looking for? I'm drawing a blank here. Retail investors, right? We are retail investors. So they have strategies to push us out of the market, right? They have the strategy for us to panic. You know, they know that we're going to end up panic selling. So, and they have power, right? Because they're trading high volume and they can move the market. So it's not manipulation. It's just part of the game. I've mentioned this in previous videos. I'm not a fan of the word manipulation. For me, manipulation just feels like people's excuse for getting shaken out of the market, okay? If you have a large amount of Bitcoin and your buying and sell orders move the market, that's not manipulation. You're just a big holder of the asset. So that's kind of what I'm looking for here. And I'm anticipating still a pretty significant drop on the price of Bitcoin. I think that it's going to be a slow grind and a slow summer. I think eventually sometime this summer, we're going to see like a very hard crash, but the opportunity to buy is going to be very, very small. So you're going to want to put buy orders already there to catch Bitcoin, between $18,000, $19,000 and like $23,000. The opportunity is going to be very, very short, and it's likely not going to happen when you're awake or near your computer. So if you want to buy Bitcoin at those prices, you better prepare now, okay? All the time. Since I first got into crypto, people have always had the issue of it's taking too long to get their funds on the exchange when they want to buy cryptocurrency. So, like I said, daily chart is not looking good. Not looking good at all. Let's go and look at the 12-hour chart on Bitcoin. Also trending downwards, making a lower low. 12-hour chart looks disastrous, to be honest with you. 4-hour chart here on Bitcoin also made a lower low. I'm anticipating that, for example, back on the daily chart, we might get another touch back up to the bottom line of this candle, but I wouldn't bet on it. The 1 hour chart actually looks pretty decent. So we made a high, low, higher low, higher high. I would be surprised if we enter back into the triangle. In my opinion, the most likely scenario is Bitcoin to be rejected by the bottom of this triangle here. Let's take a look at the 30-minute. 30-minute looks good. So overall, Bitcoin on the lower level time frames looks a heck of a lot better than the longer term time frames. 5-minute chart here looking good, but it's going to be really interesting to see what Bitcoin does here at the bottom of this triangle, to see if it can break back into the triangle or if it's just going to get rejected by it. Most likely scenario, in my opinion, is that it's going to get rejected by it. So current price of Bitcoin, 33,588. Let's go and take a look at Ethereum. So Ethereum on the daily chart is looking pretty bad here as this red 2 started trading below the red 1. So we haven't quite seen that formation on the daily chart with Bitcoin, but it's already showing a green 2 trading below, a red 2 trading below a red 1 on the daily chart. It'd be nice to see Ethereum held up here by this moving average, but with the weakness showing on Bitcoin, I'm going to anticipate Ethereum is going to break below this moving average. Let's go and take a look at the 12-hour chart on Ethereum, also looking really bad. If you were trying to go short on Ethereum, the time would have been like 21.56, and then it dropped down to 21.46 as Ethereum made a lower low and broke below the low of this candle right here. Let's go and take a look at the 4-hour on Ethereum, also looking pretty bad. So like Bitcoin, the Ethereum chart is looking a bit stronger on the 1 hour. So potentially, a nice little opportunity to jump in here. If you were trading this 1 hour, you would have wanted to jump in here as this green 2 is trading above the green 1 at about 21.48, and then it went as high as 21.88. A nice little scalp there. Or you're in the profit, put a trailing stop loss, and you're good to go. That's enough for the Ethereum chart. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Coinbase chart. Let's zoom out on the daily. A decent amount of strength actually coming here on the Coinbase chart. Made a higher high, made a higher low. So I would say I would be potentially interested in jumping in here if the Coinbase price goes above the high of this candle of 261.15. So I would say that Coinbase is going to make a higher high if it goes above that price point. So some more strength showing there. The Coinbase daily chart actually looks better than both the Ethereum and the Coinbase and the Bitcoin chart. Let's go and look at the 4-hour here. 4-hour here is made a higher low. We just want to see it make a higher high. Let's go and look at the 1-hour chart here. 1-hour chart is looking good, actually. This would be a nice opportunity to get in as this green 2 start trading above this green 1. So potentially some more upside today on the Coinbase chart. 5-minute looks good as well. Made a higher high, higher low. Coinbase chart actually looks really good. So let's go ahead and take a look really quickly back at Bitcoin. Let's go and look at the 5-minute chart on Bitcoin. And let's go ahead and look at 9:30 a.m. 9:30 a.m. was here, so you could see that as soon as the market opened, we saw a bit of a jump here in Bitcoin. It was already trending upwards before the market was opening, but as soon as the market opened, then it continued to the upside. I haven't looked at SPY yet, but I'm going to say that SPY is probably up today for Bitcoin to have that kind of price action. And indeed, SPY is up today. Let's go and look at the daily chart here on SPY. So the high of the day is 434.44, which is close to a new all-time high. If SPY gets above 434.76, that would put it in new all-time high territory. Honestly, after this candle right here, I would have anticipated more downside and for SPY to touch, the bottom of this range, but it clearly didn't do that. It's opened up quite strong today, which is, I think, kind of adding to Bitcoin as well, opening, having a bit of a stronger day with some correlation to the stock market. Let's quickly look at Tesla, which is sitting at 651.93. I would say I would want to see Tesla hold the low of this candle right here, which is 590, or excuse me, the low, 593.50. If we see Tesla go below that, big buying opportunity on the way. So a little bit of sideways here, not too much action, but in the last few days we've seen some downside on Tesla, being held up nicely here by this moving average. Let's take a look at the 12-hour. 12-hour on Tesla's looking decent. Also looks like it's making, hopefully going to hold the low of that candle that I mentioned earlier, or that price point, and hopefully going to make a higher low and then onto a higher high. So back over to the crypto space, everything's up between 2-3% today. Uni up about 5.5%. SNX actually up 20% today, which is really great. I have a very small holding of SNX. So EOS up 14% today. I was actually on a call with someone yesterday and we were talking about EOS. So actually, I've really been enjoying the calls that you guys have been scheduling with me. So you can check out my calendar down below. I charge $75 for a 30-minute call. You can pretty much ask me whatever you want. Of course, I can never give financial advice, but I've had some really awesome and really cool conversations that I've really appreciated. So I typically do those on like Wednesdays or Thursdays. I pick one day out of the week to do those. So you can check out my calendar down below if you want to sign up for a future 30-minute call. And as always, make sure you check out my links below, especially Celsius. If you want to get started, I recently took out a 1% loan with Celsius, which has been awesome. I mean, where else are you going to get a 1% loan without your credit ever being checked and only using your crypto as collateral? So a pretty awesome opportunity there. When you sign up and you keep $400 in your account for the first 30 days, you will get a $40 bonus, and so will I. So definitely a nice little bonus you can get there, and just a great way to make some interest on your cryptocurrency. So that is all I have for you today. As always, go out there and create a portfolio that you love.